Hello everyone. As we are starting our debate session, in the first round, Rimita and Parsnat will be speaking for the motion, and Pooja and me will be speaking against the motion. And in the second round, Pooja and me will be speaking for the motion, and Parsnat and Rimita will be speaking against the motion.
Hi, I'm Pashna Datta, and today's our debate topic is reservation is necessity for social justice in India, and I am speaking for the motion. So, in ancient time, the slaves of the whole world are going through the phase that the rulers have ruled the slaves and they have buy and sell the slaves. And in India also, there are some marginal communities who have suffered a lot of sufferings due to their caste and due to their lower casteism. And for that sake, our B.R. Ambedkar sir and some other social reformers fought for their rights, and their rights can be seen in the reservation policy, which can be seen in our constitution also. So I think that reservation is necessary for social justice in India because the tribes and the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes which are also known as SC and ST, they are not get they have not got their rights for a long time because in ancient India they do not get the opportunity of education or they do not get the opportunity of reaching in the social status and they are not allowed in anything but in during due to reservation they are getting the opportunities, they are getting the opportunity to contribute to the development of our country. So I think that reservation is a thing which should be added in our country at earlier, but now it has added in our constitution. But now many of the person protest against the reservation. They state that due to the reservation quota, many people do not get their opportunity. But I agree that there are 2 or 3% of people who are getting privilege, not having the problems, not having the sufferings or economical deficiency. But a large percentage of people of scheduled caste, of scheduled tribes, they have nothing. If you go to the places like Jharkhand, like Purulia, and all the tribal sites, you will see that the tribes who have nothing to eat, who have nothing for education, and their generation is not educated, and they believe in unscientific things, you will see their poor condition. And by seeing the poor condition, you will feel that we should contribute for them. And for the sake, our country, our constitution has decided to give the persons, give the tribal and scheduled caste for some giving some opportunities. And the opportunities are not so much. The opportunity is limited. Like if you reach all the stats, that then you will get that the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, the scheduled caste have 15% of the higher educational seats, and the scheduled tribes have 7.5 percentage of the higher education seats reservations. So the opportunities is very smaller, and in the other place the opportunity is so smaller. And in this by these opportunities they got the ability of serving the nation. And I think that we are the citizen of our country, and as a citizen of our country we should allow all the people, as they are also the citizen of our country, to contribute to our nation. but in ancient time, there was not a time for them to contribute to a nation because they don't get the opportunity. And in ancient time, there was a time where Brahmins, Kshatriya, they ruled the society. and we were just we have shut our mouths. We don't say any words to them. But nowadays, when the scheduled caste or scheduled tribes they get all the opportunities, we are protesting against it. My question is to my fellow speakers. My fellow speakers might raise this point that they are getting more opportunities. But my question to my fellow speakers that when the Brahmins and Kshatriya got all the opportunities in earlier time, we shut our mouths. But what is the problem when the scheduled caste or scheduled tribes are getting all the opportunities nowadays? When they are getting the limited opportunities nowadays for their for what? For education purpose, for contributing to their nation. So I think that this is not a sin, but it is a opportunity which um, we should increase and we should support it, not rather protesting against it. So this is my view. Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, I am Pooja Som. Our today's topic is reservation is necessary for social justice in India, and I am speaking against the motion of this topic. I think reservation system is not the necessary for the social justice. While the reservation certainly support individual from their lower caste, I think the system focus on economic criteria rather than caste because the purpose of reservation system is not fulfilling in India, and the people indian people who really need a reservation, who are economically weak, they can't using it because they are unreserved. But those people who are rich but belonging from the reserved category, they get chance in their higher education easily or getting their job easily. My fellow speaker don't know this thing, so that's why I think he is supporting this point that reservation system is necessary for social justice in India. If we're talking about the developed country, there are not reservation system. But in India, there are reservation system. So my fellow speaker does not. So my fellow speaker does not. The reservation system creates the. So my fellow speaker, I want to say that the reservation system creates democracy in our country. The people who are belonging from the general category or on unreserved category, they are facing problems for this because they don't getting a job. If we think that there are all people are equal, then why the reservation system is existing? For the reservation system, the general students facing a lots of problems, not the reserved students. My fellow speaker personally raised the point that Brahmin in ancient times, the Brahmin and Kshatriyas get all types of facilities, but if now the reservation category students get all types of facility, then where is the development of our country? Now, my next point is there are many teachers who are supported the reservation, who are supported the reservation system, but they are not much talented. They can't teach properly. In NEET examination and other entrance examination, we can see that the general students need high score for getting a MBBS seat or any seats in a college. But in SC or ST students, they need a minimum marks. My fellow speaker, do you go to this doctor for your treatment, or do you send your child to this teacher who are not talented? Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Rimita Mukherjee, and my today's topic is that reservation is necessary for social justice in India, and I'm speaking for the motion. So we all know that there are always some kind of people all over the world when they are facing troubles, and actually when after the time a specific caste or maybe a specific person is getting the justice after a time of period, the people who are actually facing the problem, they will actually try to protest it, and my fellow opponents are just like one of them. So let me tell you, at the past times and historical stages we can see that they faced most of the democracy and most of the discrimination in our society. What about that? Are we just forgetting that? And let me tell you, like you are telling that general caste and all others that they are actually facing in trouble. So what about the tribes? They are actually the part of our India too. Are not they human? Are not they have any right to have like education? or any food? They actually have. What about them? Also, I think that reservation ensures presence in many key sectors. It promotes social mobility, and also the compensates of disadvantages. Actually, it decreases, enhances dignity and economic status, foster diversity and participation. The the people actually they are in need, they are facing their troubles. There are also not about the past, even right now. Even if we see any ST, SC or OBC people around us, we feel like they are some kind of creature out of the world. What about that? They are actually also feeling discrimination till this time. We are forgetting about that, and we are just getting all about the like general caste issues. We know they are facing that, but what about now? They're actually the ST OBCs are actually facing that. They are also like after that all of thing they are getting as an opportunity from government and all. They are having quota. I understand everything that generals have many protest issues, but let me tell you, they actually facing it today also. If you see your maid servant in your house, they are actually belong from ST, SC or OBCs. What about them? Also, the reservation of India, aligned with affirmative actions, breaks cycle of disadvantages, contributes to stability by addressing the actual harmony of social harmonies. And that's all key points I have to talk about. Thank you, everyone.
Hello everyone, I'm Arko Chatterjee, and our today's debate topic is reservation is necessary for social justice in India. So, my fellow speaker Pasnat and Nimita has mentioned many points for the motion. So, my fellow speaker Pasnat has mentioned that the opportunities are so limited for the OBCs, ST, and SCs. So, my question to my fellow speaker that if they have limited opportunities, limited facilities, then why they need so much, just a uh, reservation? Why? Just because of their reservation, the general caste people are not getting the job, though they have they are meritorious, they have qualification. For them, they are not getting their dream job. Why? In need, in every big exams, uh, general caste people are getting high scores, but they are not getting the jobs. And the people who is belong from the backward, they got just minimum numbers, and they also get getting the job. So what's the point of view that it is really a justice? So what's the point of view of that, right? And my fellow speaker Parsnath also mentioned very few things. That's really correct, but what is the need of reservation? Because it depends on the merit, the qualification. I know they are so much poor, they have not the facilities. So government should give them the facilities of education, and by educating themselves they can get the job, though the general people are getting, right? The general people are not they have not the facilities of reservation. They are getting the job, getting the dream job, their qualification, just using their merit, their certificates they have gained. But why the reservation is so much necessary in India? Just for justice, right? And my fellow speaker Rimita has mentioned that they need education. So if they need education, to educate themselves, then get job. What is the need of reservation? Just tell me, my fellow speaker. Really this question for you. If they have the need the education, so educate themselves, then get job, interview in companies, then get your dream job, right? So the point of view is that reservation by categories people based on the I've mentioned that the OST, OBCs, and SCs and ST, whatever. And between the reserved and general categories, feeling resentment. For instance, protests by groups like the patidors and the charts demanding inclusion in reservation quests show that how the policy can deepen caste based identity politics. And social justice should not come at the cost of efficiency and competence. And reservation often leads to the selection of candidate with lower qualification over more capable individuals, particularly in competitive fields like medical or engineering. The Supreme Court's observation in the Indra Sani case, that is, I think, happened in 1992, capping a reservation at 50% reflection, reflects the concerns about balancing the equity with merit. And over time, reservation has disproportionately benefited the creamery layer, the relatively influent and educated within reserved categories, rather than the most disadvantaged. For example, a well-off OBC family may repeatedly access quits, while a poor upper caste individual or on an ultra marginalized tribe person remains the excluded, undermining the global of social justice. So the last point of view is that reservation, I don't think that reservation is need in India just for social justice, because everyone is getting their job by their merit. So why there is should be the necessity of reservation? And my fellow speaker Rimita and Parsnath, you guys belongs from the general caste, and you guys are, I mean, speaking for the motion of the topic. Don't you see your lack of facilities just for them? They are getting the reservation, and for them in future you will be not getting the job. What about that, right? So thank you everyone. That's my counter argument. So we have successfully completed our first round, and in the second round we are diving into.
Hi everyone, I am Pooja Shom. Our today's topic is reservation is necessary for social justice in India, and I am speaking for the motion of this topic. Reservation is the policy which is proposed by Indian government to promote social justice and equality by providing education, employment, and other resources. In India, reservation policies provided to SC, ST, and OBCs. Besides that, the weak, economically weak people are also provided EWS reservation. Now, my fellow speaker might be raised a point that you are or general students don't get a job or their college for reservation. But I think this is nothing but an excuse. If we have an enough talent or enough knowledge, obviously we can get a job easily. And there are lots of fields where reservation is not necessary, like private companies. They hire employees based on their skills or international competitions like Olympics. They are not necessary to be reserved. Besides that, there are some entrance tests like GRE, Graduated Record Examination, which is a test for graduated school admission worldwide with no reservation. So I think in this case, reservation is not any barrier for getting a job. And we should always give responsibility according to one's capability. While many upper castes recognize the importance of education, place, and reserved categories often lack access to equality education, but they have merits. By providing the relaxation in eligibility criteria such as educational qualification and or age criteria, they can secure a job which would greatly benefited both them and their communication. Historically, we can see that the marginalized community did not get their opportunity to going to school or enter someone's house or interacting with others. But the reservation system provides them the opportunity to of education, employment, and others. There are lots of examples, like Draupadi Murmu, the president of India, is an example of a person from a reserved category who have achieved the high level of success. Dr. Narendra Patli, who have a Dalit surgeon from the Maharashtra, has performed over thousands surgeries successfully. So, my fellow speaker, is it not the pride moment for India? Thank you.
Hi, I am Parchana Datta and I am speaking now against the motion. So now my topic is that reservation is not necessary for social justice. As my fellow speaker Pooja recently added some points that reservation is necessary for social justice in India as all the SC, ST, and OBC who are scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and reserved communities of our India and also our world, they have got they have sufferings and all the other things. But my question to my fellow speaker is that if they got all the opportunities, if they got all the benefits, then what fault the common people have? Why the common people don't get the opportunities? Why the common people don't get the advantage? Like, I want to give you an example. In the exams, in the competitive exams, where the common students or general category students have to score 650 marks or more than 650 marks or a percentile of 99.9 or 98 percentile, the scheduled cost of scheduled tribe students can get the selection in very marginal marks in 60 to 70 percentile as they have reserved seats, and for their reserved seats they have not to do so much of hard work. A general category students cannot crack NEET in 3 or 4 attempts, but they score nearly 550 marks all the time. But the cutoff is too high for them due to the reservation policy that they don't get the opportunity. So my question is to that I agree that there are some people in the communities, there are some marginal communities who have nothing, who have nothing to eat and who have nothing. But the percentage of that is very, very little. But it is applicable for all the people, and it is a source of political manipulation. Like nowadays, many political leaders in also our India, they are manipulating their political party for gaining more vote, and they are manipulating those scheduled caste and scheduled tribes by giving them more opportunities, by giving them more advantages. And it is not right for all the people, as we all have equal human rights. So how this indiscrimination? We all should have equal rights, and the equal rights can be established when this reservation policy should be abolished for that. And like we all know that in our quota, B.R. Ambedkar also mentioned that B.R. Ambedkar only mentioned that the reservation communities, the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. But I think that if someone has problem, if someone has economical or physical disturbance or problems, then it should be a law for everyone, not for scheduled caste or scheduled tribes. Who say you, who have told you that the people of general caste, they are not poor, they have got all the opportunities, they have got all the advantages, all of them have social status, all of them have a great condition. They might have a poor condition, but for them is that reservation policy, they don't get the advantages of reservation policy. So my question is that if the reservation policy is a policy of economical backward community or a social backward community, then it should be applicable for all, not for only scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, right? So I think that the things like medical line or the engineering line, teaching line, it wants the talented, meritorious students who can contribute for our nation, and whose contribution to our nation is worthwhile. But if this reservation policy continues, the people, the students who are eligible, they will not get the opportunity, and who are not in non-eligible, they will get the opportunity, and it would be a total massacre, and nothing will be in right step and in right way. I think that this reservation policy should be abolished for making a good country, and a country full of uh, talented person, and an ideal country also.
So, hello everyone, I'm Orko Chatterjee, and our today's debate topic is reservation is necessary for social justice in India. And I'm speaking against the motion, for the motion of the topic. Sorry, against for the motion of the topic. So, my fellow speaker Parshanath has mentioned many great points. So, at first, I want to say that my fellow speaker has mentioned about a need. So, I have a question to my fellow speaker that in NET exams, if someone is giving, preparing for himself for giving the exam, so the cost of giving the exam or buying the books is so high, so expensive. For the reason, some categories are needs of reservation just for social justice. Like India's caste system has perpetuated a systematic discrimination for centuries, denying the marginalized communities such as delites, Adivasis, and other backwards like OBCs access to education, employment, and social dignity. Reservation acts as a corrective measure to address this historical operation. For instance, the untouchability practice that persisted until the 20th century uh, left entire communities economically and socially crippled, and reservation offers a way to leave the playing field. And social justice demands that all sections of society have a voice in governance and institutions. And reservations ensure the representation of marginalized groups in education, public sector, jobs, and politics. I think that then the 73rd and the 74th adva- uh, amendments reserving seats for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes and women in panchayats demonstrate how reservation employers empowers the underrepresented groups to participate in decision making, fostering inclusivity. And poverty and caste are deeply intertwined in India. Reservation in education through institutions like IITs and IIMs and government jobs provides opportunities for economic mobility to those who would otherwise be trapped in generational poverty. And data from the national sample survey shows that SCs and STs still lag significantly in income and literacy rates compared to upper castes, and underscoring the need of for affirmative action. And despite legal equality, discrimination persists in subtle and over forms, be it in hiring practices, access to resources, or social interactions. Reservation serves as a structural safeguard against such um, biases. For example, we can say that studies have shown that candidates from lower caste often face rejection in private sector jobs despite equal qualification. So for that reason, they need reservation for social justice. Like, and I think that and highlighting the necessity of mandated quotas in certain sectors. And the Indian Constitution under articles number 15 by 4 and something like 16 by 4 explicitly support the reservation as a tool to advance socially and educationally backward classes. This reflects a frame's vision led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar that equality of opportunity cannot be achieved without addressing systemic inequalities first. So, thank you, everyone.
Hello, guys, I'm Rimita Mukherjee, and in the second time, I'm speaking only against the motion of the topic. So, my topic is that reservation is necessary for social justice in India. So, firstly, let me tell you, obviously, my opponents are from like typically general category. So, I'm not saying anything. Just imagine you're doing all the hard work all over the year to get a single job, to like sit to get your dream college, and your seat got occupied by a person who got their quota. Like maybe you got like 80% in your exam, but that specific person who got the quota, they only got like 30% marks, and they got the chance in your dream college or maybe in your dream job. What about that? Will you still like praise them and you still like go for their justice? Obviously not. It's like it's now how society works. Also, a person who is only getting the 30% and getting the job or maybe the college because of the quota. So let me tell you, the actual person who is actually capable of getting the actual job or the actual college, they are lacking their efficiency, their quality, their effectiveness. Where is that? A person how maybe STC, OBCs are really lacking their action in real life. But what about the generals? They are actually hardworking. Even also, my fellow speaker mentioned a point that many STSC OBCs are getting their quota in like NTA or AIMS examination and many joint examination. So let me tell you, maybe my opponents doesn't have any concept about poor and rich. There are also a category of general people. They are actually poor. They actually live in a like mud hut. They actually don't have any electricity. What about them? They're actually lacking, but still they somehow got the point. They somehow get their actual scores. They have their quality, but still say they are not getting it. What's the point about it? And yeah, maybe government is giving them quota and all. What about the people of northeast India? What about the people in Rajasthan? There are many STS OBCs nowadays, we can see, but they're actually lacking of that. So quota, how quota is working? There is no like chances that actually like quota is working in real life. The actually people who are in need, they are not getting the quota. And also, I understand like in like historical things, there many discrimination happened with them. What about the generals now? They are also getting the discrimination. So what about the equity? There is no difference between like STC, OBCs and general then. Like it also ignores the hardship of the general caste peoples who actually doesn't have any unreserved seat according to government, according to their quota. Also, the quota actually works for like many political gains. Whenever the elections are starting, like political parties start to give them quota, they promise STCOBCs like many other minor, also minor communities, that we promise we will give you that. But after the whole thing, after the whole election, where they go? Like how quota is working? Like there is no root like causes of inequity leads to like resentment and social infractions. It like I really need to say that this quota needs a really review, that focusing on the solution, that actually it's need to be changed. Like there have to be equity. The people who are actually poor in like general category, what they will do, perhaps maybe over for the empathizes and over the discrimination, we are seeing the tribes also. We also see that tribes are helpless and all. They are actually not getting any education. But let me tell you, what about the general caste who are actually getting the discrimination now? They are actually like very depending on like like STC OBCs are dependent on government. That's why most of the cases we can see the people who doesn't have any like brain to work with them, they are actually depending on like political parties and governments so that they can actually get their jobs. But in future, if we like it, if this quota actually stays, I am really worried about my India. Like this is not going to be a really successful and like futuristic country or maybe a goat in future. And that's all point I had to say. Thank you everyone for listening.
So we have completed our debate session successfully. So in conclusion, we can say that reservation remains a necessary but imperfect tool for social justice in India. Its value lies in its intent to level an uneven playing field. Yet its flaws, division, dependency, and inequitable distribution cannot be ignored. And the path forward may not be abolishing reservation outgoing outright by refining it and targeting the truly needy, phasing it out where gaps close, and complementing it with broader reforms. Social justice demands both redressal of the past and a vision for a future where merit and opportunity are accessible to all beyond the lens of caste. So, thank you everyone